This episode of Tearing It Up is brought to you by No-So Patches, made for flair or repair. No-So is all about adding flair to the gear you already love. It can be your favorite ski shell, an old puffy, a backpack, a hat, anything. Make it stand out from the crowd with a fun No-So patch, whole or not. We all need a pop of color, some personality, and a reminder that our gear can tell a story. Again, you don't have to be repairing it to add the flair. Throw on patches anywhere, anytime. Check out nosopatches.com and use code FLARINITUP for 15% off your next order. That's Flarin' It Up, FLARINITUP. That's a long one. Flarin' It Up for 15% off. Go make your gear yours. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Tearing It Up. Today, I am here with Bree of Evelyn and Bobbie. And again, as always, y'all know, excited for this conversation because we get to talk more about boobs. And I think we all love that here because there's just so many struggles, right, with us ladies and our ladies. And most of our listeners out there are pretty active, even just in our daily lives, right? Trying to be comfortable and find things that work for us. I'm always really excited when I discover something new, and I can not wait to share this with you all. If you aren't familiar with Evelyn and Bobbie, I'm actually wearing the one of the tanks right now. I think it's the Defy tank.
Awesome.
And
Me too.
Oh, nice. I thought when I went into my bag, I left a bunch of stuff in my truck from traveling, and I thought I had just the bra, and then I pull it out. I was like, oh, this is the tank. Like, oh, well, that's okay. Now I don't have to wear a shirt under my sweatshirt, and I'm ready to go. And It's just so smooth and comfy, and I just feel like I want to just rub. But
I know the feeling.
Yes. Well, I met Bree at Pitch Fest, guys, and it's been a few weeks. Well, gosh, over a month now. Hard to believe time has flown. We're already into November. But I'm really excited to catch up and learn more about her because our meeting at Pitch Fest was pretty quick, kind of just a hi, hello, nice to meet you, and let's chat for sure. And I also, have learned a couple things about you outside of Evelyn and Bobbie, just like ranch life and things like that. And I think that's really cool and just can kind of resonate in those parts of life as well. So I'm stoked to learn some more about you. But Bree, I always like to ask folks first, where are you at physically in the world as we record today?
I am in not even a town. I live in the middle of nowhere, right where where Nevada, not Reno, 3.5 hours from Reno, where Nevada, Oregon, and California come together. So it's called Surprise Valley. And my husband's an organic grass-fed cattle rancher. So I live on this family ranch, and it's totally beautiful, but there's no people.
I love that so much because we still live in town. I mean, we're out of town limits in Truckee technically, but it just feels a little more out there. And I don't know if it's just the older I get or the state of just the world and everything or a combination where it makes me want to be further and further out there and just learning more about people who are making a life that way and running a company. You're running this awesome company from there. So it just makes it feel like it is possible, right, to kind of to blend these different parts and aspects of your life and make the life that you want. And obviously not easy, I don't think, for anybody, but it just kind of gives me a glimmer of I can absolutely be on my little plot of land and create something amazing. So yes, I'm stoked to again just dive more into how it all started.
Yeah, and I just have to comment on being out here because I do travel a lot for work, and there's this cool rancher girl out here that will drive me to the airport sometimes. I hire her to drive me to the airport so I can work on the way there. I just work on my hotspot. But yeah, living out here is for sure my best life because it's interesting because I said there's no people, but actually I've never had a deeper sense of community than out here. People don't need to be around people all the time, but when they come together, we come together. And when my husband has a branding, everybody drops everything, takes their kids out of school, everybody comes together and brings their horses, roping cows, and branding cattle, and then we have a big meal together, and it's so cool. It's so
That,
cool. I had lived in Portland before I moved here because that's where I started the company. And I gotta say, I really love life on the ranch.
that's amazing. I want to come out for a branding. I
Come
want to see
on
how
out.
that
Yes.
absolutely. It's like
Oh,
I got to
you
pull
gotta
up a
come,
map here
Taryn.
because I go up. So my family's up in Tacoma, Washington, and I drive from Tahoe up there a lot. And so I'm like, I'm sure I could make that detour
You gotta
without it
come.
being much of a detour.
I have a little tiny house you can stay in, and it's so beautiful. The air is clean. We have a bunch of springs on the ranch, so it's like the cleanest water, and we have tons of minerals in the water, so you sleep so well.
Oh my God.
It's beautiful. Yeah, there's
It's
2,000 acres to play.
wow. It sounds like a
It's
dream. And
great.
we've been talking about getting a cow for a while now to just like, you know, being more conscious about our meat and things and like
Yeah,
what we're putting in our bodies and where it comes from. So I'm
it
like, well, this could be
matters.
a good reason. Let's go get a cow from you and like set us up and yeah, just support in all the ways. So
So
I will
good.
100% be like, yeah, on that map. Like, all right, when's the next time I'm
All
heading that
right.
direction?
That's great. Next episode's from the ranch.
Yes, totally. Oh my God, that would be so good. Well, let's dive in a little bit. Like you mentioned, okay,
Mhm.
you were in Portland. That's where you started the company. Are you
Yeah.
from the West though, or where did it all start?
Yeah, my parents were kind of hippie homesteaders. They were young parents and bought a little piece of property in Southern Oregon, kind of by the Oregon-California border. I was actually born in like the Smith River Wilderness, um, on the sofa, and I think that's it's a big part of my journey because I had really like do it yourself parents.
Mhm.
My dad was not a professional builder, but built our entire house, and you know, it still stands today and is so beautiful. He figured out plumbing, figured out electricity, and so I think when I became frustrated with bras, which are super frustrating, I
Mhm.
had this ethos. I was like, well, fuck it, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make one, and we're gonna make it better. And excuse my language, but that really was my attitude. But yeah, I was in San Francisco, so I went to school in the Bay Area, and I was working for an early stage investor. He was a private equity guy who had um, was going after consumer healthcare brands for early stage investing, and it was my job to talk to and do due diligence on a lot of the companies. And it was a really cool opportunity to be part of an early stage investment organization. But um, I was working long hours and in a male dominated industry, and I hated my bras. I just hated them. I'm a 34G. I was a 34 triple D. I was a little smaller than before kids. But I just thought bras were stupid, but I couldn't live without them. I couldn't
Yes.
walk into a board meeting without one. I find having some support as a fuller busted person comfortable. Like I'm not a no bra girly.
Same.
If you're a no bra girly, great. Don't buy my bras. I'm happy for you. But if you're like me, you know, you probably know that it's like if you want to have a nice shape that looks pretty under a t-shirt, it's hard to find that in a comfort bra. And I wanted both. It wasn't a crazy high bar. I wanted something that made me look good in my clothes and felt terrific for 12 hours. And I also didn't want to wear four different bras during the day. I wanted to be able
Yes.
to go to a yoga class during lunch and then go back to the office in that same bra. And like maybe when I'm off of work, Taryn, I would rip my bra off in the car on the way home.
Oh
I
yeah.
never made it. Yeah, I always had these two pressure points on the front of my rib cage. I always had pressure, like my right strap, no matter what, slipping off, always. I don't know what it was, something about. And I actually went on this whole journey to start improving my posture before I quit investing and moved to Portland to start this company. I was like, this is nuts that this product is so crappy. And I started going looking for a better bra, right? I wanted something to look good under my clothes and was comfortable all day long. And I literally scoured the world over and couldn't find that bra. And then I started talking to other women. And I was
Mhm.
like, do you love your Victoria's Secret bras?
No,
The
no,
answer was
who
no.
does? Yeah.
Nobody. And I was like, how do you feel about bra shopping? Everybody hates it. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't, and then basically everybody's got like 10 to 20 bras in their drawer, except they wear like one or two. And they're
Yep.
like the ugly, comfy, stretched out ones that they feel like they shouldn't be wearing. They know it's like 8 years old, but they just can't deal with
Yeah.
trying to find something better. And so basically I pieced it together and I was like, okay, we have to wear these garments. It hasn't changed since 1931. The underwire was patented in 1931. There's no research on this. I don't want a piece of metal jammed up against
Mm-hmm.
my rib cage. That's delicate lymphatic tissue. I don't think that's a good idea for me personally.
Yeah.
And I was like, somebody's got to do a better job. And I think I can try.
There are just so many pain points of bras, right? And it is absolutely insane that I feel like there's a lot of topics like this with women and what we've just dealt with like for
Yeah.
years, right? Is that same thing with the tampon designed by a man and like
Yeah.
has never changed. And
I
then
know a
some
couple of
gals came
Stanford
on.
girls who are working on
Yes.
that. Tampons have
Sequel,
them.
is
Yeah.
it?
They used to be called Helix, but they might have changed the name. But yeah, they're improving it. It
Yeah.
might be sequel. Yeah.
And well, but so same thing or similar vein with like what you mentioned with underwires, like
Hmm.
1931 and hasn't changed. I remember in high school, I mean, I was always like cheap bras from the department store or whatever then, and I would be like literally in school and be like, what is just like jamming into me? And my underwire would have
Mm.
like popped out of the
Yep.
fabric, and then it's just like, yeah, jamming into me and having to like go try and fix that in school. And then like,
Yeah.
all right, well, when am I going to be able to go get another like new bra? And the amount of
Yes.
times like I had buried this memory away until just now. I forgot how many times that happened to me with these bras and the underwire popping out and just being so uncomfortable. And yeah, you're in them all day long. And then especially just, our bodies change so much.
Yes.
So when you find a bra that you love, or at least can tolerate, and then your body changes a little, and then it just
Yeah.
doesn't fit quite right. And that can be through the
Mm.
month, right? That you're like, okay, I can wear this bra. And now, like, for some reason, it feels a little weird or different or
It's
adjusting.
25%. So your breast volume can fluctuate 25% just in your normal monthly hormonal changes.
That's
And
a
then,
lot.
put aside that, most of us are going up and down 5 pounds in a
Hmm.
month or, 15 pounds in a year. Like I always gain some weight around the holidays and then, I get moving a little bit. And so, yeah, our bras are different. Our bras we fit over 100 conventional sizes in it. We have this thing we call adaptive fit, where there's basically like a skeleton. Now it's all soft. They feel like a second skin, but we use bonded layers to create like this exoskeleton of support with four-way stretch, powerful four-way stretch fabric on either side. So it's like got all these layers, but you don't feel the layers.
Hmm.
It feels like a three-dimensional hug, but it expands and contracts and molds to your unique measurements. So you can gain 5 pounds and lose 5 pounds, and it just fits. And also you can go for a hike and then you can jump in the waterfall and then you can go to a job interview. You can do all the things in the bra, which is what I wanted. And, I
Hmm.
didn't have a single bra in my drawer that I felt any sort of love for. And now I have 40 bras in my drawer that I am like, which one do I get to wear today?
Yeah.
They're all awesome.
I
And so,
love
yes,
that.
it's possible. It took a long time. It
Yeah,
took a
I
long time.
that's exactly what I was going to kind of like go into with all of that technology, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like some folks, if you're not really kind of immersed into apparel or like kind of geek out about it like I do, then it can be funny to think about technology in the terms of apparel or whatnot.
Yeah,
But it is real. Like,
it
like
is.
this,
It's so real.
like, yeah, the wicking, there's real things
Yeah.
behind the wicking, the stretching, the fitting, and all of that. And so you started talking to other women, realizing this is like not a you problem. This is like a
Yeah.
universal problem. And then what were the next steps there of like how did you start kind of like getting into like prototyping or like making
Mm.
some for your own or well, yeah, how did you start with that?
It was it was really fun and inspiring and hard and challenging, but I'm so grateful for that experience in early stage investing because I did learn Silicon Valley taught me a lot of things that um that kind of created a framework for me. I was not a fabric expert. So my Aunt Bobbie, I named the company after my maternal grandmother, Evelyn, who was kind of a starlet. She represents beauty, and she actually modeled intimates in the 30s.
Wow.
And yeah, and so she was like a model and a starlet and was like a background girl in a few movies and things like that. So like,
Oh,
you know,
that's
your
so
kind of
cool.
classic pinup girl. And then my Aunt Bobbie was an entrepreneur, an overall badass, like studied so many different world religions and was like this a philosopher and an entrepreneur and just a general badass. And she taught me how to sew. She was also a professional seamstress. And
Wow.
so now my bras, there's like hardly a stitch in those garments, but I at least had some concept of pattern making and putting a garment together, but I didn't know anything about technical garments. And um that's what I knew it was going to be, that, right? Because I wanted it to be moisture wicking, antimicrobial, high performance. It's gear.
Mm-hmm.
For
Mm-hmm.
me, a bra is not a nice pretty frilly thing. It is
It's
gear for
essential.
life.
Yeah.
It's essential, and I need it to do the job. And i don't I don't want something beautiful that doesn't do the job.
Mm-hmm.
I want something that does the job and also looks great. You know,
Yes.
like that's the hierarchy. And so I moved to Portland because that's where Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour are. And I was like, okay, I'm going to find people in this ecosystem that do have these skills. And then, you know, I partnered, actually the factory that serves most all these big brands, like all these performance athletic, they were like, no, we don't work with startups. And so I got my ass on a plane and flew to Hong Kong and I got them to give me a meeting, and I pitched them. And I was like, look, the old way of doing bras is going out. Like, women are changing their lives and changing what they want out of performance garments, and like, we're the future. And I managed to convince them. I mean, I had no idea what I was doing, but I managed to convince them to work with us. And like, um, that partner has been one of the most important partners because, you know, they are amazing and they had the technical know-how. And so I hired some people, stole some people from Nike and Adidas, and but the utility patents that I hold. So we have the first patented structural replacement for the underwire in 88 years. So my patent in
Wow.
20 that we launched the first products in 2019, the first of these products that you're wearing, Taryn, in 2019, and that was 88 years between the day that the underwire was patented and when we call it the EB core. It's like a 3D sling that goes all through that underwire region. It gives you that lift and separation, but it's totally soft. It's made from bonded layers, so it's powerful but flexible.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really an engineering concept, right? So that and the intellectual property, the patents, I figured out in a garage. So I literally went to the garage with my dad. And then later I had a house that had like this little loft, and I turned that into my workshop. And I hired this really cool girl who was still in design school that would come over. Like, we both had our day jobs, and then we would go at night and prototype from like 6 to 10 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah, and we tried thousands of things that didn't work, literally thousands, until we kind of figured out like what were the key points in the garment that needed to connect, and like what were the structures that were essential to provide ergonomic support. And there's like anatomy and physiology in there too, because like a lot of us wear sports bras too much. Like, if you're wearing sports bras that are racer back and you're wearing that for longer than an hour or two, it's going to negatively impact your posture. You really
Wow.
should not be wearing that for long periods of time.
That's wild to think about.
Yeah,
And well, I mean, I can never wear a racerback for long periods of time
because you get
anyways.
pain.
Yep, exactly.
Hmm.
Like, right? Yeah, nope. I've got to like
There's a
move the straps,
physiological
doing
reason
something.
for that.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
yeah, because this muscle, your trapezius, inserts on a nodule on the back of your skull, and then it goes down and attaches here at your shoulder clavicle joint. And that it's like a suspension bridge. So if you put weight, and like most of us, average bra size in the US is a 34F. right? So
Wow, really?
yeah, that's like
Oh,
8 pounds of breast tissue probably. It could be, 5 to 8 pounds of breast tissue. So, you imagine like a 5 pound weight hanging around your
mm-hmm.
neck on a shoestring, that's going to pull you forward. And so when you put weight for a sustained period of time on that muscle, what happens is it's just mechanics. It shortens the muscle, the shoulder goes up, and the spine curls forward.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
yeah, so I was like, nope, my bras are going to be pro posture, put the weight on your core, not on your delicate neck and shoulder muscles. And hopefully, as you wear that bra today, Taryn, you'll
Yeah.
start to feel that where you're like, oh, I can like stand up a little straighter.
Yeah.
And the more you wear them, the more you'll feel that effect.
And it's so interesting because the Defy bra, right, that I have, so I have the tank on
Hmm.
now, but the bra I've worn a lot more, and at first, yeah, it's so you're like, okay, how is this right gonna have the hold and the support of like a normal bra, right? It doesn't have like adjusters, and I'm like,
Yeah.
after a few hours or like a couple wears or something, is it gonna feel the same like lift and hold? And I was really blown away with it that I'm like, okay, this is not just like a unibra or a uniboob bra either, right? Because
No.
that's always the fear
Uh-uh.
that you're like, yeah, this is okay. It looks more like a sports bra when you're just looking at this particular
Yeah.
one. Like I said, that
But it's
without
not.
like the, yeah, not at all. So
It's
it's like,
fully molded, so
yep,
it's got bullet molds that like really have a beautiful shape. And you can even take the pads out. The pads are optional modesty pads. You don't need them. You can take those out. And I take mine out right away because
hmm,
I am a 34G. I don't even want even half a millimeter more
yeah,
of anything. And but yeah, that's the goal. And this is the other thing too. I always tell people like size down from like if you normally wear an XL, you're probably a large in our bras. And then I tell people that you want it snug because
hmm,
it's the magical moldable bra. So you want it to be tight. And sometimes people are like, "You're crazy. This is way too small." And I'm like, "No, just you can if there's anything bulging, stand in the mirror and just give it a little stretch because it will relax and then it seriously is like a second skin and it'll just mold your body. It's hard to explain until you experience it, but yeah, get them like follow the size chart, get them tight, and then you've got that 3 day break in where it just seriously all of those structures relax to your measurements and then you're good to go.
that is just so cool. And I think, again, for a lot of our audience out there who are just active women and going from like A to B to C, like all the places in the day. And you do,
Yeah.
especially with like a bigger chest, bigger boobs, kind of have to think about that. Like, okay, what am I
Hmm.
doing today? What bras do I need to like have with
Totally.
me? And I'm constantly, I got a few like outfits things in the bag. Like, what do I need? What do I want to wear? So
Yeah.
it's so nice to be able to like narrow that down to have like
Yeah.
less things on you. Or like you mentioned in the beginning, getting off work and the first thing. I mean, I think there will always be something to like taking your bra off, right? It's a
Yeah, of
sign of the end
course.
of the day thing, but
Yeah.
it won't be that same like just because of sheer pain feeling. It's just like
Mm-mm.
it's your nightcap end of the day. Like I get to do this sit thing, but yeah, you don't feel like you're just dying in the car. Like, how do I get this thing off of me? Like, immediately unclasping because I've been there so many times. Like, well, back will start hurting, and it's like, all right,
Yeah.
gotta slide the straps down. I have to like unhook for a few minutes and then like get back together. And
Terrible.
it's like so annoying.
Mm-mm. Let's not do that anymore.
Let's
I
not.
do. When people ask me what I do, I say I make bras for women with shit to do.
Yes.
And it's
Oh
like
my
I don't
god.
care. I don't care if you're a nurse or a mom or a teacher or a mountain biker or, it's like women that I know have shit to do.
hmm, hmm.
And most women that I know want a beautiful lacy set like a couple nights a year.
Yeah, 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 exactly. And
And
like
that
you
is
can
not
do
your
that.
gear for life.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can have
exactly.
that. You can
Uh,
have that. But like today, I woke up and I was like, okay, I got a podcast with Taryn, and then I gotta go winterize all my pots, and I've got my kids home from school today, and and then I'm getting ready for my parents to come. Like, I have shit to do today. And so I picked the Defy Cami because I've got high-waisted jeans and I love how it covers. It's a bra first. We just dropped the outer layer down. I love how it covers, like I don't get anything, like my jeans aren't going to rub on me today. And I'm going to wear the same thing tomorrow when I'm going to go gather cows on the mountain with my husband in the morning. and I can wear it then too. So it's just like an easy bra. I wanted to get dressed like a man, Taryn.
Yeah,
Like
yes, yes.
this fits, feels great.
This
Let's
is
go.
clean or like whatever, exactly. Put it on. Yes.
Yeah.
The thought we put into so many things. Like I've said this before with underwear or anything, like, okay, literally, what am I doing today? I have to actually think about
Hmm.
every step of my day to figure out what bra or underwear or anything that I'm going to put on to get me through the
Yeah.
day with as limited distractions and uncomfortability as possible.
Limited distractions is the best possible phrasing.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it's just, no, that doesn't deserve your time and attention. No.
No, when you're just like trying to work whatever it is you're doing, whether it's physical like labor activity
Hmm.
or like working in a high tension job, like and all
Yeah,
you can think about is that bra strap on your neck, it's like
totally.
seriously takes you out of the zone. And I love
Hmm.
what you said, like you make bras for women who have shit to do. I think that is the most like amazing slogan. I love it so much. And
It's really true.
like when so is that kind of how you pitched to people? So after you finally kind of narrow down the technology you need and you're getting your first real like prototypes, what's your next step with getting this like off of the ground? Were you straight like just on online direct to consumer or trying to sell into department stores, or how were you going to get
Yeah.
this in people's hands?
Well, so we just launched with Title IX, or we're about
Yes.
to launch with Title IX, which is so, I'm
Cool.
so stoked because I think that customer is totally that's a woman with shit to
Mm-hmm.
do. And so we did launch online initially. But I also really believe in American small business. And so we have like over 300 mom and pop, mostly female owned local boutiques. And there's a store finder on my website if you want to support your local boutique. We're in a lot of them. But we're actually one of, if not the fastest growing bra brand at Nordstrom. We are going to be launching with Bloomingdale's in 2026. We're
Wow.
in a Midwestern department store called Von Maur. We're in a department store called Belk in the Southeast. We're in a UK department store. It's kind of like the Nordstrom of the UK called John Lewis. And so, it's just, we've just been like slowly growing our distribution. And we're also talking to a couple of other big retailers. We've decided not to be on Amazon right now. I think that's a squirrely game that we're not going to get into just yet.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, like we're really growing. And interestingly, we're starting to talk about women with shit to do. We're also starting to sell in like scrubs stores because nurses
Oh.
and doctors love this so much. And I partnered with a surgeon, a breast, or she's a cosmetic surgeon, so she does a lot of breast reductions and a lot of like reconstruction, and in New York, and she gives one of our bras to every one of our patients. So it's like it's an amazing post-surgical bra. 1 in 8 women are going to be affected by breast cancer, so it's a great bra for that too. Like you can put up to a size 7 prosthesis right in there. There's no hard parts to restrict lymph during healing or lymphedema or anything like that. And also, I just personally feel like I don't want any hard parts to restrict lymph ever
Mm-hmm.
at any stage. I think it's healthier to have something that is just letting your body move the way it's supposed to be moving.
Yeah, you spoke. So speaking of lymph, and just reminding me of talking about the like the bridge. You're talking about where the insert of the
Yeah.
trapeze muscle and all that. Did this whole process of creating the bra, is that where you learned all of this and kind of dove into more of the actual anatomy and physiology of women, of humans, or did you have a little bit of
Yeah.
that background before?
Karen, I totally, one of our company values is magic, or you can call it kismet or synchronicity or whatever. But I totally am a believer in, I have a very hippy dippy side that believes in magic. So I studied medical anthropology in my undergrad. And like, I didn't have, honestly, I look back, like I didn't have hardcore parents with graduate degrees that were like, this is what you're gonna. I had like I had the opposite, and so I just studied what I was interested in, and then I got out of school and got a job as an anthropologist, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't really think about what I was gonna do with this. degree. So I studied medical anthropology, and I was like almost thinking maybe I'll be pre-med. So I had taken some anatomy and physiology, but it's wild because I did not know that I was gonna become obsessed with making a better bra, leave my job and become a bra entrepreneur. I never could have guessed that. But if you look back at all the things I learned along the way, I'm like, oh my God, that was magic. Like
Yes.
medical anthropology taught me how to look at things through a cultural and social lens. So when I started working on this, I was like, ooh, what's the culture around bras? What's going on here? Why are we all quietly agreeing to this?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at this, right? And I like looked at things that like we put 12-year-olds in training bras with this subtle message of like, well, this is going to suck, but start training up on it.
Yeah.
Like there's all of this interesting kind of this culture, and then you look at like what was going on in the bra industry. I think it's starting to change now because of female entrepreneurs like me, but it
Mm-hmm.
was really through the male gaze.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
was not about how you felt. It was about how you looked. That was
Yep.
the message that we got, right? Like that, me growing up as a kid in the 80s, it was like you go to Victoria's Secret and you're like, oh man, this is what I'm supposed to look like, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. And this should be my priority, looking like that. And of course we move on from that, but there's a different set of messages I think that we have been really intentional about with Evelyn and Bobbie, where it's like it's about like, yes, I want to look good in my clothes, but all of our marketing messages are about how you feel
Mm-hmm.
and what this lets you do. And so, yeah, so I never could have guessed that all of these things like studying anatomy and physiology was such a key part of making these right. But yeah, there's kind of breadcrumbs that led me here that you never know. You
Yeah.
never know.
Well, and that's what's so cool is being able to look back and then see the through line. And I think that we're
Yeah.
so forced to like see that first, where it's like, no, think about what you're going to study in school and what your job will be and like see your future and all this. And it's like, that's just
Mhm.
not how most of life ends up for
Yeah.
us.
No,
And
it's not.
even if it did, and that's like you did follow this path, whether it's what someone set for you or you set for yourself, you sometimes later in life you're like, well, I'm gonna take that hard left and do something else. But all those
Mhm.
things I do truly believe like lead up to your next points. But again, you just can't see and predict the future, and we don't have to all the time, right?
Mm-mm.
I think it's perfectly fine for people who prefer to have more of a plan and things like that.
Yeah.
But I also think that which obviously is very, very hard. I have to talk to myself every day about doing it, but like trusting the process, right? Like this
Yeah.
will lead
Trust the
to
process.
something, especially if you are doing it with that passion behind it and a
Yeah.
real desire to, solve a problem and know that it is not just like your problem. There's so many more people out there who
It's
suffer
true.
from it. And I love the kind of cultural aspect, like diving into that of the bras, right? And
Mm.
how that was definitely like for the male gaze, and you think about it still. And I also can never like not wear a bra. For me, it is more comfortable to wear a bra most of the time
Yes.
because of the size of my boobs. Like I feel uncomfortable just
Mhm.
wearing like not having a bra on around,
Yeah.
and it just
I
feels
get
like,
it.
yeah, I want the support and I feel a little more comfortable in that. But then it's about finding the right support. So I think that, yeah, some of that is definitely cultural norms where I feel like my boobs are too big to not wear a bra, but also it's like,
Yes.
but it is just comfortable for me too to
I
wear a
don't
bra.
like the skin. Like my breasts are pretty saggy, like not when I wear a bra, but I have dense, heavy boobs. I've had them for a long
Yeah.
time. And I don't like the skin on skin feeling, like it gets a
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
little
Exactly.
sweaty. And so I like the lift, and
Yes.
and I used to have comfy bras and then let's go to work bras, and now
Mm-hmm.
it's the same bra.
Yeah. And I
I
mean,
can do anything.
who doesn't want that? Like, is it like because when you have bigger boobs and you do have
Yes.
to think about that, like, so like, okay, here's the bra for this, the bra for that, and it's just kind of
Yeah.
annoying and frustrating to get on with your day. Except when you've got shit to do. So,
Hmm.
yeah, so many things in the psychology of it all, and that's really cool
Yes.
that actually that is like you said, you went back and now you ended up like going into making an awesome bra and then like putting your through line together of like, well, look at all of this actually led
Yeah.
perfectly for me to be here here, but I just didn't know that's what the end goal was.
Totally. And I can't even pretend for a second that it's been easy. Like
Mm-hmm.
the company almost died several times. Like we're really hitting our stride and we're definitely in high growth mode now, which is amazing. And I'm so incredibly grateful for that. But um it took a lot to not give up along the
Mm-hmm.
way. But I think the thing that, and I know this sounds cheesy, but it is so sincere. We have a customer voice channel. We get love letters from women every day talking about where they're like, man, I put this bra on and I started crying. And that's so ridiculous. But I just didn't realize how long I'd been uncomfortable. And, this bra means the most to me. Or like I had 3 heart surgeries and couldn't wear conventional bras anymore. And like this bra is everything. And it's just a bra, but it's also not. Like for
Yeah.
me, it's symbolic because it's women saying, no, we're not going to accept
Mm-hmm.
bullshit products anymore
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that don't take our experience into account. And yes, I do deserve products that actually do the job for my life. And
Yeah.
yes, I have 270 fit models. Like
Oh,
a lot of
amazing.
us, yeah, most bra companies, this blew my mind. Karen, when I started, now innovative bra companies will have like two fit models that are professional fit models that are paid to not change weight
Oh my God.
and maintain specific measurements. I have 270 real women from 4'9" to 6'2", 250 down to 110, 98 pounds. I have women of every shape and size, of every age, whether you've got nice, young, fresh, tight skin or super saggy, draggy skin. Like we have real human beings that we are designing for. And it's like, it was so wild to me when I learned how the conventional bra industry works, where I was like, no wonder the bras for bigger bodies suck.
Mm-hmm.
Because they never put that bra on a bigger body.
Yes. That's,
Like never. They shipped it without ever putting it
yep.
on a bigger body. And I'm like, so, we know that if you're a large or above, you have rolls. You
Yeah.
got probably have a forward projecting belly. So like,
Yes.
let's take that into account because that's how our bodies are. So we should plan for that.
That's incredible to hear because that is one of my biggest gripes with anything. Because, like, in the apparel industry, a fit model is usually like a size 6 and
Yeah.
whatever height. And it's so frustrating because, like, we've had Andrea Kelly of Make Plus Equal on. My
Mm,
size has fluctuated over the years, but I've never been,
yeah.
like, super small and, like, just the shape of my body. Like, I have love handles. I have a
Yeah.
bigger circumference there. But then, like,
Hmm.
just finding things that fit is so hard. And I have applied to be a fit model for some things that I've seen hiring because I'm like, I know this is what your fit model is, but I think that if you sell a size 12 or above, you should have a fit model who's a size 12 at
And you
least.
are right. And
Because
you are
you
right.
don't just add,
Yes.
everyone just adds, like
It doesn't
inches
work.
here or there, changes the ratio a bit, but like that's just not how our bodies work, especially
Mm-mm.
as women. And I totally understand that it's hard to you can't have a fit model for every different shape and body and
Yes,
whatever,
you
but you
can.
can, yeah,
I do.
apparently, right? You can try a little bit harder. I
Yes,
mean,
you
you
can.
can have more than one, that's for damn sure.
You
So
can't have 270 fit models and make fast fashion.
yeah,
But that's
yeah,
why I don't. I have
hmm,
8 bra styles.
yeah,
I innovate more slowly because we make sure it works. You know what I mean? Like it takes longer, it's more
yeah.
expensive, it's harder to do it right. But I also have, people that buy 4 bras a year from me because they can feel that difference and they love it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, no, you should be a fit model. You can come be a fit model for me.
I would love it. I would love it. Listen, I've tried so hard over the years because I'm just like, I just always feel like an anomaly because I'm like, no, this
You're
doesn't
not.
work for me. Like, this doesn't work for me. Like, I want this too, but it just doesn't because this, and that here. And I'm like, look, I know that there's so many other people, again, who have a similar body type. And it's just
Hmm.
wild that, yeah, like I said, between all these companies, there's one or two different size fit models. And then there's probably even some who make women's apparel that especially aren't women first brands who maybe
Hmm.
like don't even have a fit model at first and they're just changing the men's and sizing it down here or there. And
Yeah.
it's just absolutely absolutely crazy because you cannot make something that's going to last and hit the mark
Mm-mm.
without that. So I think, yeah, you're the first
Well, and
person
then the
ever
other
to like
thing that
270 fit models. I like
yeah,
am in
we
love with this.
do. It's harder to do,
Hmm.
but it's also the right thing to do. And
Exactly.
it's like, even if you have a size 18 or a size 22, it's, that body can be so many different shapes, right? You can have no booty or a big booty, or it's like, and so that's also why we make our products to be adaptive. And we seriously test them on so many different women. And it's like, that's why your Defy cami that you're wearing today, because you're tall, right?
Yeah. Well, I think 5'8". People always
You're
think I'm a
5'8".
lot
Okay.
taller, but
I'm only 5'6", and people always think I'm taller too. And I'm like,
yeah.
because I'm tall in your
Yes,
heart.
they're
You
like,
can
"Wow,
feel
I
my
thought
tall energy.
they're like you're 5'10", aren't you?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah, you're 5'8". But like I have tall girl. We always check the height on tall girls, and we make sure that we have fabrics that expand and contract. But yeah, I think, I have a full range of sized bodies on my design team, from small bodied women to bigger bodied women. And that's been super important because we all bring voices to that and
Hmm.
to what needs to happen and what we care about. And like I was in Portland this week, and we were doing our sports bra. We're working on three different sports bras with kind of three different levels of support, and because we're going after that next, but it's
Yes.
going to be a couple years because we're going to take the time to do it
Yeah.
right. But we were talking about the differences where we're like, oh, okay, smaller bodied people are going to be looking for this and that, but as soon as you get into these sizes, bigger bodied people are looking for this and that,
Hmm.
because the use case also changes, and so you
Hmm.
have to kind of keep that in mind. And I think what has happened, and this is something that we are so passionate about sincerely, like I have a 15-year-old daughter, and we talk about this all the time about, like, the reality is we are all, as women, I don't know if I can name one woman that I know that's been in the same size body her whole life.
Yeah.
We are going to live in a lot of different bodies in our
Hmm.
lives, and we need products that are going to move and flex with us and honor whatever moment your body is in, right? Like, we have to love them all. Like, I went through having kids, and like, oh my gosh, there's such a concentrated period of like everything is changing so fast. And I think um I like being part of this movement where we're like, yeah, okay. I have a manifesto on our wall that says, it turns out your boobs are perfect.
Oh,
It's bras that have been getting it wrong.
I love it.
And I think we get to do that. We get to change that script, and we get to change that narrative as women. And I think it's been so interesting just going down this thread a little further, like, we're figuring out how much we're going to retouch photos, because in the beginning we didn't retouch at all.
Mhm.
And we would get comments from women that were like, that's more than I want to see. And so we've been like slowly reducing the amount of retouching that we do, because I think we have to learn to see real bodies and
Mhm.
see beauty.
Mhm.
And we have to retrain ourselves, because that's not what we've seen on the billboard or in the magazine for a long time.
Well,
So it needs to change slowly.
absolutely. And I mean, you want to make women feel like they can see themselves in it. And so
Yeah.
if they're looking like what you said about Victoria's Secret, right? Like, okay, that's what we're supposed to look like. I mean, I think going into early, like,
Yes, they don't
teen,
look like that
yeah,
either. They're all retouched.
totally. But like going into your, I don't know how relevant it is now with the younger kids, but like, going into my teens and early 20s and stuff, like Victoria's Secret, yeah, it was the sexy thing. You had to have Victoria's Secret to like feel sexy, to have the sexy bra, whatever, how uncomfortable it was. And you would also think that like, well, that is definitely not what I look like in this, and then thus feel bad about yourself, thus be going to the gym or doing whatever, trying to fit yourself into that mold. And just, I think we're definitely getting a lot better about it in our
Yeah.
society. But like I said, if you can see yourself in it, then that's what's like gonna be that resonate with the customers and
Yeah.
create long-term customers over time and get people to actually, support you and know that your mission really does align. Like you're doing what you say, like, right? You're not just like you're
Yeah.
practicing what you preach, and you're totally 100% behind every part and value of your mission, not just saying it because it sounds good, but you are actually doing those things, and
Yes.
really stand behind them. And I mean, that is what I want to do with the podcast, is get women like you
Yeah.
on and like
Thank you for
show
doing it.
others out there that like there are people behind these brands that really truly care about what
Yeah.
they're doing, and those are the voices I want to be heard, and the women that I want to find you. Like, you guys got to get out there and check it out. Check out Evelyn Bobbie, because like I said, listening to you talk, like these are the kinds of things again that sell me, because these days we're just sold so much on just fast fashion, throwing things out there that are
Yeah.
cheap, or
No.
do this, do that, and we don't really hear the story enough behind it to really like get behind a brand and resonate and, like I said, stay long term. And so I want that to change, and I want the real people behind
Yeah.
to be out there. So, and I think that, yeah, what you're doing and saying, I mean, just the simple fact, like, so many parts of this, being able to try your product, meeting you, like, have sold me on it, but I cannot stop thinking about 270 fit models. Like, that is like the real to me. Like, so like being in the outdoor industry myself, is like professionally, and having a lot of different roles in that, like that hits, like, you are doing this right then. Like, you truly are like
Thanks.
doing what you say by being and having a lot of different women on your team of different body sizes and things like that. When you have people who can give you input, who are in those bodies, like, that matters so much too.
So much.
It's incredible to hear. And
Thank
I'm just
you.
like, oh, it just makes me like even more stoked on our conversation. And you said you have 8 different styles of bras now?
Yeah, 8 styles. So, I mean, we wanted to build the whole wire-free wardrobe. So, like, I do have. I didn't know that I was going to be able to pull it off, but I had kind of stopped wearing. Like, sometimes I want to wear a low-cut, sexy shirt if I'm going on a date with my sexy husband, and so we came out with a plunge that's like really deep, actually, but it works. You're gonna think it's too small when you get it. You have to stretch it, so you can hand stretch our bras, and that's like a second skin. But I wanted to give people a whole wardrobe, because what I found was people would wear our bras for some stuff, but then they would like try to go back to the underwire for date night or whatever, and they're like, oh, I can't, it's awful. So we give you a whole wardrobe. You never have to wear an uncomfortable bra again. And then we're going to build into other things, like we're working on swim. I'm working on maternity, because
I was going to
maternity bras
ask
are
about that.
insulting. They are. You're like, I'm already pretty vulnerable right now, and you want me to wear this piece of garbage? Like,
I
absolutely not.
love that.
So we're
Insulting.
working on maternity. They are, where I'm just like, wait, really? This is the best we can do? No, let's do better. Let's do better for mamas.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're working on a lot of additional stuff, but I'll tell you, Taryn, I've spent 18 months on stuff that I haven't shipped, because I'm like, I don't want to wear it. Like, if I want to take it off after 6 hours, we're not shipping it.
Wow.
And so, yeah, so yes, and I just have to say, I'm so grateful to you, because um it's hard to get out there, and it's hard to find places where, even if you're doing something that you really care about, to be able to have an authentic conversation about what matters is not, that's special. And so I'm super grateful to you too, because I just want to make bras all day, and people are like, we need to find customers, and I'm like, okay.
Yes. Yes.
So
Well, thank you so much. I mean,
thank you.
I think we talked a little bit about this before we got online, about how, it can be so hard being in a position that we are both in our own lanes, of just wanting to do the thing that we're passionate about,
Yeah.
you making bras, me having these conversations. But there's obviously to have a business behind it to make
Yeah.
any money, because yes, at the end of the day, like, the purpose is up there, but we cannot do it, we cannot reach that purpose, we can't get
Yeah.
that purpose out into the world if we aren't making any money. So it has to come into play, and you have to think about all
Revenue
those
is
other aspects.
sustainability.
Yeah.
You can't stay on your mission if you don't. I say this to other female entrepreneurs all the time. your revenue is the blood in your veins, and without it you're a corpse, and what
Yeah.
can you do, so it's like, if you want to be on that mission, like, so I always try and empower every woman with a vision and a model. It's like, let's not convince ourselves that we need to feel any shame in
Mhm.
driving that revenue, because that revenue is our sustainability. That's how we get to stay on the mission.
And I think that's huge and so important for me and a lot of other people to hear out there, because what you just said, it's like you feel this shame behind wanting
Mm-mm.
to make money. And again, I think that's just like something that's been put into women's heads, that it's like, you shouldn't want that or this, or it's hard to feel purpose driven if you also like want to make money behind it. Like, so you can't get your purpose out there without making money. I love that saying, that it's like the bloodstream that revenue is. It's sustaining you. And I think that there's so many women out there, again, listening, who need to have, whether they're starting their own business or it's just like they want to grow in their career, like want to take
Yeah.
that next step, like go ask for that promotion. One of my best
Yeah.
friends right now, I'm like, you have not negotiated a contract
Oh, have
or
her call
asked.
me.
Like, yeah, I am. Like, I tell her all the time. Like, every time you meet, she's like, "Well, it's not a good time because, like, cash flow, this, that." I'm like, "That's not your business. Like, that is not for you to say. You need to go. You need to ask for that raise, get that raise, because you don't need to worry about what that is. If you don't actually know what that cash flow is, like, don't let that stop you from asking for the
Better yet,
raise."
better yet, they're at a critical moment in the business.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
She's going to drive it to that next level.
Yeah.
She wants to be compensated at a market rate for doing that hard work. Absolutely. There's a great book called Women Don't Ask that looks at like the statistical realities of how less likely women are to negotiate on their behalf. You know who negotiates the most?
Who?
Affluent white men.
Not
So,
surprising. Not so
not
they don't
surprised,
even
right?
need it,
But
right?
well, it's really interesting. And in the book, Women Don't Ask, she like goes on this mission to ask for things. And it's shocking how often you can get things just for asking. Like,
Hmm.
did you know that
Hmm.
most retailers will give you 10% off if you ask?
It's wild
You just
because
ask.
I hate asking. I hate asking so much.
Yeah.
And that was part of like, yeah, what I do. Like, I just want to have these conversations. I don't want to go ask people for money to continue to do what I want to do, or asking for anything. It is so, so hard. I think a lot of us resonate with that. But I'm trying to get a little bit better. And I have 100, even
Yeah.
with just getting guests on the podcast, how it all started with this, with like reaching out to the first people I interviewed, and them saying yes, was like, well, what do you know? Like I said, when you ask,
Yes.
you like people say
Totally. Well,
yes.
oh my God, it's such an opportunity to be a guest. Like, you're giving me an opportunity to
Yeah.
be here today. And then I always try and think about this too, right? Like, I think sometimes it's easier to think about it for other people, but I think about it for my daughter. What do I want for my daughter? I want my daughter to have a well-resourced life.
Hmm.
I don't want her to be stressed out and strained over finances. I want her to have a well-resourced life and to work on something she's passionate about. I have two daughters. I want my best friends to be well-resourced, and so that they can go work on something that they're curious and passionate about. And so when we sustain ourselves through our businesses, we also role model and give other women permission to do the same.
I love it. Oh my gosh. I just love everything about this. Like, and you know what? Bras. It's a foundation. If you're feeling good,
Bras.
first layer.
I know,
Like,
it's
I
a
thought about this
foundation.
earlier, that I'm like, look, if you start your day with the first thing that goes onto your body and is touching your skin is uncomfortable, again, that's
That's
your
right.
foundation for the day, and nothing else is going to be comfortable. So, like, we got to start from the
Yeah.
ground up, people. So,
I know. It's like when you have a hole in your sock, it just really
yes.
ruins your whole day.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
gosh. This
Well,
has been so fun.
it
Thank you
has
so
been. It's
much.
been so fun. We hit so many just like golden nuggets here. It's been so great to talk to you, and I could go on and on for sure. You have just so much insight into other
Oh.
things, and it's been, like I said, just incredible. Is there anything? You did mention, like sports bras are on the kind of the far out
Yeah.
horizon, but is there anything in the near future or something that we should look out for, keep our eyes on for Evelyn, for Evelyn Bobbie?
Well, next year we're launching Busty, which is for those girls that have a small frame and really lots of volume. And oh my God, I'm so excited about that product. It's incredible. And it's for busty girls with shit to do. So keep an eye out for Busty if you're one of those people where you're like, I'm a 32G, like finally the bra for you is coming, because I know that those women have been struggling with fit. I'm
Mm-hmm.
fitting a 32J in that bra right now, and
Wow.
so yeah, I'm stoked. Um, so keep an eye out for that. And if you go to evelynandbobbie.com and sign up for email, you can get $30 off your first purchase. And look, I didn't make the cheapest product. Like, this is an investment, but it's the one you're going to reach for every day. The bras are $98 and you can get $30 off the first one when you sign up for email. But here's what I will tell you. I cannot stand investing in products that don't do the job for me. So
Mhm.
I personally guarantee it. You can wear it, wash it, run it over with your truck, and if it doesn't change your life, you send it back and you'll get a full refund. That guarantee was super important to me, because I feel like we always buy things and then we're like,
Mm-hmm.
ugh, now I'm stuck
Yes.
with this garbage.
That's incredible. And I definitely encourage you all to take advantage of that $30 off because, yeah, like you said, $98, like gateway, and that can be hard to invest in.
Yeah.
And especially for a bra where it's something that, like, if it doesn't work or you feel intimidated about it, like, being right for you, just having that guarantee, I think also helps so much.
Yeah, it's
And I think
important.
that
I
people
want
should
that.
100%, yeah, like don't be afraid. I know people who are still afraid to like send things back or whatever, but like
Oh no,
don't,
do
because
it.
it only helps. And plus, it could be a simple size or style change, right? Where like,
Yeah.
so for the Defy bra I have and then the cami, like the cami was way snugger. Like I told you on our first
Mm.
call and we had some internet problems, we didn't record that day. I was like, yeah, the cami's super tight though, and you were like, oh, stretch it, pull it, this, that, and I was like
Yeah.
afraid to, but I put
No,
muscle
you
into
can't
that
break
and
this
I
bra.
pulled, and I was
Yeah.
like, and so now I'm wearing it today and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, like it's a
Yeah.
little snug again putting on at first, but like
Yes, but then
it's
it goes.
not, yeah, it's
Mhm.
not squeezing my rib cage, because when I first thought, I was like, I can't breathe in this, but oh yeah, no,
No,
I
it's the
pulled and
magical
pulled
moldable
and I
bra.
was,
And
yes,
yeah, I know. That's what I always say. I'm like, stretch assertively. We like assertive
yeah.
women, because it's truly like the highest quality on the planet. And if you break it, you could be the first. I'll get you a new one.
Yes.
Um,
Awesome.
yeah, no, yeah. I do want every woman in a comfortable bra. It
Yeah.
makes your day better. And
It's,
I'm super grateful for you for having me as a guest. Thank you.
oh, you're welcome.
And you
Thank
got to
you
come
so
out to the
much.
ranch. I'm not
Yes.
kidding.
I
Like,
want
you have
to
an
so
open
bad. I'm not kidding.
invitation.
Yes. I
So
I
it's
would
look it
love
up.
to.
It's Fort Bidwell. You just be like, I'll be there tomorrow night.
Yes, I love it. Oh God, I want to so bad. Like I want to be out on a ranch, experience that, and get a cow maybe to bring fill our freezer. Like I said, I'm already like okay, thinking about how I can pitch this to my boyfriend. Like maybe let's try and go up to Washington to visit the family. We'll swing by there. We'll get our meat for the winter. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a milk cow named Kathy who is the snuggliest
Oh my
cow on the
God.
planet. So you can also come get some cow snuggles.
I would love a cow snuggle.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's pretty world changing.
that's so awesome. Well, everybody out there, go check out evelynbobbie.com. Is there anywhere else, socials or anything that people should go
Yeah,
follow you
we're
at?
Evelyn Bobbie on Instagram. We're on Facebook, all the places.
And that's
Yeah,
Bobbie, I-E, not Y.
yeah, Bobbie. Yeah, but if you Google it, it doesn't matter
It'll
how you
come up.
spell it, it'll come
Okay,
right up.
perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Bree. So this has been amazing. And, it's 11 o'clock now. And I'm like, I have so much just like for the
Shit
rest
to
of the
do.
day because this, yes, well, shit to do. And also just like amped me up for the rest of the day and just like, yeah, let's just go be powerhouse women out there in the world and
All
get shit
right,
done.
let's do it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody out there listening. Thank you, Bree and Evelyn Bobbie. And we'll talk to you all next week.